Hey, this is Luke with the Android Guys podcast. I'm here with Scott. How you doing?
I'm doing splendid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to? You've been playing around with a product that we got in.
Mhm.
You want to share your thoughts?
Yes. So today I'll talk to you about the ARC Open Ear True Wireless Earbuds.
Mm-hmm.
These are from Clear Audio,
Yeah.
and that's CLEER. You had a chance to review some over-ear headphones from
I
them.
did, and I was very pleasantly surprised.
Well, let's say the same thing about these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are a unique looking pair of earbuds.
Yeah.
And they're not really earbuds in the sense that you put them in your ear. They're not a stem. They're not a little bean or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
These actually kind of remind me visually or design-wise. At first, they kind of remind me of like the old Plantronics or Jabra earbuds.
Sure.
For,
Yeah.
mid-2000s just
Mhm.
for Bluetooth connectivity.
Yeah.
But these are really closer to not really a bone conducting sound, but these are like open air, open ear.
Okay.
So the design is that one that it kind of swivels. The main piece goes behind your ear,
Mm-hmm.
and then the speaker sits against your ear.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't go in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of sits up and next to it. It's got like an ear hook design.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think that these were going to sound as good as they did.
Uh-huh.
And I did not think that they would be as comfortable as they are.
Yeah.
And also, I did not think that they would stay in place.
Ah.
And color me surprised, all three things,
Awesome.
they did that well. So these are about $130.
Yeah.
And I would say in terms of, is that fair? I would say it's just about right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really want to shave off too much more
Mm-hmm.
to where I'm like, now these are must-haves. I think they're, if you're considering something that you want to wear so that you can kind of listen to the background noise if you need to. I like to have these on around the house if I'm maybe washing dishes,
Sure.
kind of sitting out. It's summertime, so I'll go out sometimes and just sit in the hammock and just kind of catch up on podcasts or books or maybe a little music while I go through my phone and do things.
Right.
I can hear somebody who's like, "Hey, Dad," or
Yeah.
my wife starts talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of hear that, so it lends itself well to that. But it also works in a way that you can kind of immerse yourself in the music.
Right.
Music isn't kind of like pumped directly into your head, but you do get the sense of kind of like, okay, these aren't. They're not broadcasting,
Right.
It's not like they're just these tiny speakers playing music close to your head.
Right.
They feel like earbuds, or they, sound like earbuds. And then if, you're in a room with me, it isn't as if you're saying, "Hey man, turn that down.
Right.
What's going on over there?" That it's, they work well. So they surprised me with the design of that.
Yeah.
These are nice earbuds. They sound great. They're quality build. They come in two colors. I have been reviewing the light gray,
Uh-huh.
and they also come in what's called a midnight blue.
Oh.
So they, like most earbuds, come with a carrying case,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like, it'll charge the earbuds.
Oh, right. Yeah.
This is a little bit different. This one, I think you might remember when we got it in. This has, the case has an integrated cable
Yeah.
that you kind of pull out and plug in directly. It's
Mhm.
I don't know how long it is. I want to say maybe 6 inches or something.
Yeah. It's
like
not.
that.
It's not very long.
So it's built right into the case, and you just kind of pull it out and plug it into a USB outlet. So if you want to plug it into really any charger,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to work. It does not provide, like sometimes earbuds, you'll get like 7 hours playback out of a full charge, and then
Mhm.
the case will provide another, 14 or 20 hours.
Right.
You're not really looking at that. You're looking at about 7 hours total
Uh-huh.
out of what comes in the case.
Okay.
So you plug the case in and you charge up, you will get 7 hours total.
Okay.
So you can listen a little bit here and there, and then when you put them back in, it's going to kind of charge it up, but you're looking at 7 total.
So it doesn't really hold that much of a charge,
Yeah.
the case.
So that was a little disappointing Especially with an integrated case that, these zip up. It's kind of like a flat.
It's a nice looking case. Their design aesthetic overall at Clear is nice. It's different, but it's not odd looking.
Right.
Like it's unique.
I would have liked to have seen maybe the option to, if it had a small USB-C to C cable that I can take out and plug in, or if I wanted to plug in my own,
Yeah, because you got to think if something, it's a mobile device, if something happens to that cable, you're kind of SOL.
Yeah, and if you're not careful with zipping it up,
Sure.
It's a thin ribbon cable.
Yeah.
So there's, just kind of have to be careful, cognizant of that. And then I also thought, based off of the design, the hard shell on the bottom, I would have liked to have seen maybe at this price, $130, the idea of wireless charging.
Yeah,
off the bottom.
Yeah, because it's not a big case, but it's not a tiny case either.
Yeah, I was surprised it didn't provide longer battery and or have wireless charging.
Sure.
So but it's not a deal breaker at 7 hours. If I'm listening to 2 hours in a day, that's a lot of listening for me with this type of earbud.
Sure.
I'm not going to wear these to the gym or anything, but if somebody else, if they were considering them, they will work at the gym. They do have, let me double check here. I wanted to say that they had a water resistance. Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong, but they they sound great. And you can, I've worn them in a variety of different environments. Yeah. And they've done well for me. I haven't had any complaints on, I wish they were louder or I wish it was clearer. The sound is really pretty nice. Right. Charging, if you spend 10 minutes plugged in, you're going to get about an hour of charge out of that. So if you forget, as you're heading out the door, if you are able to plug it in your car charger, or as you're getting ready in the morning or getting ready to go out for a run, 10 minutes is going to give you an hour. So depending on what your workout is or what you're planning to do, that's not too bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
I don't see the water resistance.
I don't either. No. Okay,
just double checking that. They do tend to stay in place. I did do a little bit of, like jogging and things like that to see if they would kind of pop out or feel heavy after a while. I didn't really get any ear fatigue. I think it's an interesting design. The hinge, the hook, all of that kind of moves in a way that feels comfortable. It certainly doesn't look like it's going to be comfortable. Right. But, spend a little bit of time with them and you're like, hey, these actually sound better. They're more comfortable than I thought they would be. And then you can also go into the app, same app that you had with the other headphones. Yep. There are some options in there to kind of play around with, tweak the settings. So, if you like to kind of fine tune the way things actually sound, I would say, these are definitely something I'd recommend. Score wise, I think I ended up giving this an average 3.8.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, 4s across the board for most things. Build quality, warranty, features, setup was a breeze, performance. I did give them a 3.5 on battery and audio and price. They're almost a 4 for me. Sure. But they're on that border. Battery and charging, I would say I feel them more confident in saying that it's closer to a 3.5 than a 4, just because things we talked about. Right. Audio wise, 3.5, I still think is great. 4 and above is kind of pushing into that, like, hey, these are really good sounding earbuds. And these are something that, if that's one of your main concerns, start with sound, then you're going to want to get something that's like a 4 or higher. Right. So I would say the Clear Arc, these are open ear, true wireless earbuds. It's a mouthful. Yeah. But yeah, I've got them at a 3.8. So these are definitely something I would recommend. And, just the Clear brand, I think so far, the things that we've tested out, I would say they're 2 for 2. Yeah. Product wise. So, definitely. Yeah. That's what I've got for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. All right. That's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@androidguys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as swebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.